What's up, everybody? I'm Vivian. How has everybody been doing? Have you guys been exercising, taking care of your body, your mind, your spirit? And if you have, in what ways? For me, I've been doing a lot of meditating, starting to do some yoga, lifting weights, and just walking outside can do a lot of wonders just for your body, just to stretch or even just stretching. It doesn't have to be rigorous, and that's what I want to talk about today. About taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. I want to start with the body because that is the foundation of everything. The body is something everyone can see, everyone can feel, everyone can touch and smell and taste. All these senses you can hear with your body. Your body does so much for you. The heart pumps your blood. There's a digestive system. It fights viruses for you. It's basically an engine, and it's a vessel for you to continue to experience and express who you are and what you're doing right here, right now. And some people could be ashamed of your body, and some people don't take care of your body, and some people feel bad for the body they have. And there's so many things that happen with our bodies, and we want to do different things. And people take care of the body for the wrong reasons, like if your body's not functioning the way you do, you punish yourself, punish your body. You say it's not good enough for you, and when you love your body, you're like, oh man, I look so good, this body. I'm so glad I have this face. I'm so glad I have these muscles. I'm so glad that this body is appropriate. This body is the body that everyone says that it's necessary, or everyone thinks that it's attractive, good enough to look at. Sometimes now people don't have time to exercise their body, and people are very busy working or taking care of their kids, or don't even like to exercise. Sometimes I feel that way too, like, oh, I don't want to work out today. But when I don't work out, I kind of feel a little bit more stressed because I don't release all that tension that's in my body. And now I'm noticing that when I work out, it feels good, or when I stretch, it feels good, or when I meditate, it feels good. The body also needs time to rest. And exercising your body, you could just take a walk, or stretch, or just do simple exercises that won't, if you don't like that whole straining your body thing, you don't have to do it. Also, what do you feed your body? And what do you put in your body? Do you like to put a lot of junk food? How do you feel when you put junk food? I mean, people could be like, oh, this is good, and they feel great with junk food, but I've noticed, when you're little, you don't really notice how you feel in the end, but now you notice after I ate, say, a 20-piece chicken nuggets with fries and a Coke. How did that make me feel? Like shit. That's how it made me feel. I felt so tired and sleepy. Like my body was just exhausted, and I just felt like taking a nap. And every time I would eat and I would feel so bad, I would always take naps because I felt like that was the right thing to do. I would just take a nap because I'm tired. But it was the food that I was eating. And now that I've decided to cut back on chicken and just eat chicken or meat in the weekends, I feel great. And I don't really eat out, Carl's Jr., McDonald's. I know it's cool to eat that type of food sometimes when you don't have time, but if you could cut back on it for a little bit, you'll notice the difference. Also, treat your body with respect. It's running for you. It's helping you out for a reason. Regardless of what you're going through, your body is a part of you. Be kind to your body and give it what it needs. Mostly water, fruits, vegetables, and just give your body the respect it really deserves. And next is the mind. The mind is always going, always thinking. The mind is the part of you that is never shuts up. It's always with you. It's always having these thoughts. You're having these thoughts. And with this mind, you should always be stimulating it. Read a book, do something new, something different that the mind yet doesn't know. books are a great source, and they're not that expensive. They're like $5, $10. You could get them on books on the Apple Store. You can get them from Google, Amazon. There's so many places you could get books and read, and not only to also to expand your knowledge and learn something new. I've always liked to learn new things, whether it's like just books on spirituality or just fun books. Like, actually, never mind. I haven't read a fun book for a while, but I feel like the last book I read was the Divergent series, and I haven't read any other book than that. But I've been reading books on the stock market. I'm looking at reading the Tony Robbins book. There's so many books out there. You just have to find your favorite one, or just try and do like a crossword puzzle, something different that will stimulate your mind. Also, try and quiet your mind. The tool that could help you quiet your mind, I always like to stress it, and I'm not going to stress enough, but it's meditation. You have to relax your head, because don't you know that when you keep on thinking so much, it almost feels like your head's going to explode. Like, there's so much in your head. Oh, you get anxiety, or you get migraines, you get this horrible headache. I remember in high school I was so stressed because of my government class. I felt this horrible, I don't know if it was a migraine, but then my eyes started to close and every noise bothered me, and then it hurt so bad for like an hour or two. It was so horrible, and it's because I was so stressed and worried about the grade that I was gonna get. And now when I do meditation, I feel clear. When I finish meditating, I don't think too much, and I don't think about the outcomes that are gonna happen, and it just helps me. Before I create videos, I always meditate. I have a clear mind, and it always helps me speak. I can get the words out without thinking twice about what I'm gonna say. And the mind is always a filter. You have your thoughts, which then create the reality you were in. So when you're thinking the words that you want to say, that mind is going and you're translating them into words. So you and the mind are working together. You and the mind are working together to think of new ideas, new things, and it stores a lot of important information. And finally, the spirit, the soul, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you believe that you have a soul or an essence or something that's within the body and the mind, something you can't see, something that no one's ever picked up, or none of the scientists believe that there could be a soul, but it's that part of you that feels. I think of the soul as almost the feeling part of you. You have to pay attention to that part of you. I know the mind could win, and I could see that because I'm always so logical and I think so much, but sometimes you have to feel what you want to do instead of think about what you want to do. The soul is your expression and what you want to do. The soul gives you hints of what you should do, where you should go, but they're so subtle you don't even know it. The soul is like the all-knowing part of you. Haven't you had that moment where something says don't go right, go left, or maybe you should take another route, or it just gives you a random answer out of nowhere. You're like, well, I didn't even know that. I didn't even learn that. How did I know that? Or the part of you that says, call your mom, or your mom's gonna call you, and then your phone rings and it's your mom. It wasn't your mind. Your mind can't pick everything up. It's your soul, it's your essence. So when you get information, you receive information, I think, from your soul or your source or the force or your, I don't know, whatever you call it, God, and it goes through your soul, and then it gets filtered in through the mind, and then you kind of distort it because you're like hesitating. No, that's not right. What is that thought coming from? Where is it coming from? I don't know where it's coming from. So you distort it a bunch because you're hesitant, you're doubting the thought that you just had, that you thought. And then once it gets to words, it's like, how do I explain this? And you're trying to explain it, it's so difficult. But I think that is what your soul is. It just feels things. And then you could be like, I think that you're talking about your heart. Well, it's totally different, because how you feel comes out of nowhere sometimes. And whenever you feel something in your gut that's not right, I think that part is your soul. And I feel like you should follow what you feel like doing sometimes. If it doesn't feel right, follow it. if you think that it's right but you feel that it's wrong, that is a battle with your mind and your soul. And you have to figure and decipher between those, because that's such a hard thing. If you're not quiet enough, you're not going to pick it up, and you're not going to know what's going on in between those two. And right now I'm trying to work on that, following my essence, my soul, whatever. Trying to see where I want to go. Instead of thinking about what I want to do, I'm going to feel what I'm going to do. Because thinking just holds me back, and there's so many doubts, and there's so many obstacles. And when I feel like it's right, when I feel that things are going the way I want them, everything just turns out so well. In a way to get in tune or in touch with that part of you is to write, journal, be quiet, or be in a quiet room in silence, and you'll listen, and you know it could be the mind sometimes, but at some point when you learn to quiet your mind, you can get into that stillness part, and you could hear that little voice inside of you. And if it's negative, it's probably your ego, but if it's positive, that is the deeper part of you that is trying to call out so you can listen. So you always want to have the mind, body, and spirit aligned. If you don't, there's a lot of problems. If you don't take care of your body, you'll get sick. And if you're more of a logical person and you think so much, you could get anxiety, you could get migraines. And then if you don't listen to your soul, you'll get into a bunch of trouble, and you'll be bored doing the same thing over and over again. And it's hard to find your calling when you're not aligned with these three parts of yourself, because these are the three important parts of yourself that should always be listened to no matter what. There's no excuse. All religions say you gotta tap into God. And then there's the force, and there's the spirit, and there's the essence, and there's the universe, and there's so many words you could think of it, but it's just that one source that you need to tap into. And once you tap into it, you'll notice that things are changing, things are working out for you. You're in the right place at the right time, you meet the right person, you start seeing synchronicities, you start seeing things flow into your life, and there's not as much obstacles. So at some point, take a seat and just see which part of you do you pay attention more to. Your body, your looks, how strong you are, how weak you are, how pretty you are, how ugly you are. Or do you pay more attention to your mind and think so much you get so stressed, or you just like to think a lot in a negative way, or you just worry a lot? Or do you stimulate your mind and you read a lot of books, and that's enjoyable, you do a lot of crossword puzzles? Or do you pay more attention to your feeling and ignore the body and the mind? Because none of them could be ignored, and there is no way one can't work without the other. So take some time and work with all three parts, at least 5 minutes of your time. I take 5-10 minutes when I feel like I want to. You don't have to. It's whenever you feel called to. Just when you feel like you need to relax and take a break. That's the right moment to do it. So I hope you got something out of this video, and I'll see you next time.